The main things I want you to know about parallel and perpendicular lines. Okay, first of all, let's talk about parallel lines. They're probably the easiest ones. Two non-vertical lines are parallel if they have the same slope. So the only thing you need to be looking at is if it has the same slope. If it does, if we're looking at two equations and they have the same slope, that means that they are parallel lines. Okay? If you look, you can actually draw out the model if you really wanted to, but I think most of you guys should know what parallel lines are. Okay?
I'm sorry, I don't know.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Now, for perpendicular lines, there are two non-vertical lines are perpendicular if the product of their slope is -1. What that means is first of all, they have to have a right angle. There has to be a right angle there. What it means by if the product of their slope is -1, that means the line of slope 1 times the line of slope 2, okay, should equal -1. We're going to go over an example here in a second, but if you want to write that M1 and M2, you can do that. Yes. Also, let's say we have a slope of 2. Okay, let's say our slope is 2. All right.
Is the M1, M2 is times?
Yes. M1 times M2. Yep, sorry, let me rewrite that. Thank you for bringing that up. I'll put parentheses right there. Okay? M1 times M2. Or you can think about it as this. If you have a slope of 2, okay, a perpendicular slope to that would be the reciprocal. Okay? And make sure you make it a negative.
Wait, what is that one? The -1/2?
That's a perpendicular slope to 2. Well, you'll figure it out as we actually play around with some problems. Okay? All it is the reciprocal. You guys know what the reciprocal means? Reciprocal? If you have reciprocal means if you have like a 3, the reciprocal of 3 is 1/3. You're just flipping it. That's it. Okay? So let's say if we had a slope, or let's say we have a number of 2/5, the reciprocal of that is 5/2. All you have to do is flip it. Okay? Reciprocal. It's kind of a weird, reciprocal. Also, when you're talking about perpendicular lines, that's when you have that negative sign. So let's say if I had another slope of, 3/2, a perpendicular slope for that would be -2/3. All I did was flip it and change the sign. Okay? Now, let's say if we have a negative slope to begin with. Let's say if we have a -4/5. The reciprocal of that would be 5/4. You'd make it a positive. All right? Yay. So parallel slopes, they have the same slope. Perpendicular slopes have those reciprocals. Okay? Reciprocals. Because that's the reciprocal of it. And when you're talking about perpendicular lines, that's what that means. So type this in the calculator. Type -4/5 times 5/4, and tell me if you get a -1.
Times what? 5/4.
Do a negative 4 over 5.
Be a -1.
That gives you a negative 1. So that works out. Yes, Taylor. Parentheses.
Y'all put parentheses. Did you put parentheses? Huh?
It says -1 but 0, 0, 0,
Let me
0.
see.
Okay, so write the slope-intercept form of an equation for the line that passes through 4, -2 and is parallel to the graph of y equals 1/2 x minus 7. Right off the bat, you should know what your slope is going to be, which is what?
1/2.
Yes. Because we're talking about parallel. Parallel lines have the same slope. So we know for a fact it's going to be 1 over 2. Now, the only thing they're asking for is a different equation that crosses through that point 4, -2. Okay? So we can use our slope-intercept form to figure that out. We're looking for the b. We're looking for our y-intercept.
Can't we just?
'Cause it's-
Couldn't you just change -7 to any number?
So yes, all you would have to do is plug in your point 4 and -2, okay, into your y equals mx plus b, and we have our slope. So let's do that. So our y is -2. So I'm going to write in -2 is equal to our slope, which is 1/2, times our x, which is 4, plus b. Okay? We're trying to figure out b. So then, work that out. 1/2 times 4 gives you what? 2. So get b by itself, -2 from both sides. Are we done?
No, y'all put it back in slope intercept.
This needs to be in slope-intercept form. Okay? So just rewrite it. Y equals our slope, 1/2 x minus 4. Okay? The best way to do this is work it out. Try to prove it. Okay? You can't just tell by looking. Some of them, yes.
Always put the square. The little
Not
square.
always, though.
You know, that's what they said last year on the EOG thing.
But it's asking if it's perpendicular. Just one.
Figuring it out for sure. So I know that if this thing's perpendicular or
I
not.
have an idea. Look at one side.
Let's check to make sure.
Also, the shape is made of triangles. And triangles cannot make a perpendicular angle unless the
It's
right
right
triangle.
Okay, anyways, so to do this, first of all, you can do this really quick by figuring out the slope of JL and the slope of KM and see if they're the reciprocals. See if they equal to -1. So let's look at JL first. The coordinates is 2 and 2, 6 and 6, 1. Okay? So I'm going to do my y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1, and solve for that. So I'm going to go 1 minus 6 over 6 minus 2. Okay? That's going to give me a -5 over 4. Okay? So we got that slope. That's good. That's for line JL. All right? So that is for line... That is for line JL. Okay? Let's figure out KM. So there's my K point, and there's my M point. So, same thing. Figure out the slope. So I'm going to do 6 minus 1 over 6 minus 2. That's going to give me a 5. That's going to give me a 4. Okay? Now, are these slopes equal to -1? Why?
Because one of them's positive.
First of all, one of them's, well, it's okay if one of them's positive, but remember, reciprocal means they have to be flipped.
Yeah, so
So-
it has to be 4 over 5.
Yes, it would have to be 4 over 5. So these are not perpendicular. So you write not perpendicular.
I